Oi, 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 YouTube. Good to see you guys. Welcome. Today we are going to be going over the 4.5.0 mid-chapter updates. This is the PTB. This is only available on Steam right now because it is being tested so that bugs can be fixed later on. So this is not out on console yet. We've gone over recently kind of what these changes detail, but we'll go over them again briefly today, and we'll dive right in today on our Twitch stream. Go check us out, twitch.tv/DylonKG, where we will be in the PTB testing out Clown, Hex Undying, the new Survivor animations, the new maps, all kinds of stuff. So let's go ahead and dive in. First off, we have the new HUD layout, which most people, including myself, were frustrated. If you notice, my camera is in a different side of the screen. It's because of this new HUD, all right? So they went ahead and said that the player names and health and everything like that is in the upper left-hand corner, and we've seen that before. The reason they did this is to make the names readable with the font across all different resolutions and things like that. They seemed readable before, so I'm not sure I buy into that. But they're also adding hook count, and they said that they needed those things to work in combination. So the number of visible score events has been increased when multiple events are triggered at the same time. So just small stuff happening to the HUD. I mean, the HUD's getting shifted around, and we'll be able to see that again live and really what that actually looks like in practice. So they also have hook counts, so killers can see a widget that'll display how many hooks they've earned during the match out of possible total. So if you didn't know, 3 hooks per person, you can get 12 total hooks. It looks like that widget is probably like a bar that like ticks up or something. I don't know. It's a circle, but I don't know how it's represented. If it's probably not dash marks or anything. So it's probably a bar that fills up halfway or whatever. So it's weird. Again, I used to think that like counting hooks and knowing who was hooked was like a skill-based thing. And I guess, you know, in this case, you won't know who is hooked. You'll just know how many hooks you have. It doesn't really seem to serve a purpose though. Like knowing how many hooks you have total doesn't really help you in the long run if you're not sure who gets hooked next and stuff like that. It seems like a weird addition. I don't hate it, and I don't hate what the developers are trying to do, but nobody really asked for that. You know, survivors can see a set of markers above each survivor's name, and then this will tell survivors how many times each survivor has been hooked. Killers, if they were to do anything, they should give killers that feature. I get why survivors have that feature for sure, so they know like who to stay for, who to leave. Like, oh, they're on death hook, I'm leaving. You know, makes sense. I don't know why killers didn't get that, because what killers have is less than useful. I don't know. It's weird. It's definitely weird. Survivors now have portraits, and you can also change the UI scale as well. So that's important to know. So they also changed the animations for survivors. So everybody kind of gets an animation pass. So you know, instead of like popping up when you have Unbreakable like a turkey timer, you know, they'll kind of stand up, and when they're running, they have like, I don't know, the animations are more fluid. They just all look better. We'll check that out live on stream again today, so be sure to come through for that. Visual updates to Gideon Meatpacking Plant and the Disturbed Asylum / Crotus Pren, or the Disturbed Ward in Crotus Pren. Excited for those. They also updated the model textures in VFX on Nurse, on 4 different Nurse outfits, and on Clown. Now, the last time they made this pass on the VFX and stuff on like Trapper and Hillbilly, I didn't notice a difference, but we'll see. We'll take a look. We'll see what's up. They updated the Clown. So that's the big thing. We're just gonna dive into some of the numbers and how it works. So they have the antidote bottles, and they have the actual tonic, right? The antidote bottles will release a gray cloud that turns yellow after 2.5 seconds. So you throw it, and there's 2.5 seconds of a delay. So you do have to like plan ahead. It doesn't immediately kind of take effect, it seems like. The clouds last a total of 7.5 seconds and are similar to, and are smaller than tonic clouds, so more direct, right? And then survivors in the clown gain invigorated status effects. So there's a new status effect called invigorated. This hasn't actually ever been in the game, even though we got the Blight Rush serums on medkits. This actually is a new status effect to the game. 10% movement speed when you're invigorated for 5 seconds. So Interesting. We'll see how this kind of works out. You change to the antidote bottle by using the secondary power button. You just tap it, and you would hold the secondary power button to reload, and reload has been turned from 5 seconds to 3 seconds. So there are some add-ons, and the best add-on is the party bottle. Thrown bottles emit confetti when shattered. Just I'm kind of into it. And then they've changed some of these others, and we'll be looking at those and deep diving into these add-ons live on stream. You can take a look at them here or in the patch notes in the description. They also changed up the trapper. So they made the bear traps have a little bit less RNG. The idea is that the first few attempts are unlikely for you to escape, and then the last few attempts are far more likely to get you to escape. All right, they say escaping from a bear trap has 16.6% chance of succeeding on each attempt, but are capped at a maximum of 6 attempts. I don't actually really know what that means, and I'm gonna have to get in with a friend in the PTB and test it. But does that mean after 6 you can't? It sounds like after 6 they're guaranteed to escape. So weird. We'll see what happens. They also changed the Wraith. Again, completely invisible when further than 24 meters away. When 16 to 24, with 16 to 24 meters, he's slightly visible, and then within 16, he's very visible. You can kind of see that shimmer. All right. So Hex Undying gets nerfed, and a bunch of other perk kind of pass-throughs here. Hex Undying, down with Undying, that's right. They apparently changed borrow time's tier adjustments, all right? So now they're the duration of the endurance status effect at 10, 12, and 15. This doesn't change borrow time at its maximum. They just kind of reworked what it looks like, all right? Let's see here. We have Mangled got changed. Mangled status effect always lasts until fully healed. So there must have been something off there. I actually kind of always suspected that. And Deep Wound is from 30 seconds to 20 seconds now. So bunch of changes. Pebble got changed, aka Diversion, things like that. So these are all worth watching and reading over. If you want the full details, again, in the description below. And we have a ton of bug fixes. I don't ever want to hear DBD doesn't fix bugs. So there are a bunch of bug fixes here, and a Windows Store bug fix. Now, known issues. I need to read this because people aren't going to pay attention to this. There are known issues. Add-ons displayed as external flex do not properly show the buff debuff color. And when hitting Meg Thomas in the first step of the killer tutorial, the game crashes. If you pick her up and don't slash her, the game does not crash. This is the killer tutorial, of course. So do with that what you will. But that is it for 0.5.0. We're going to be live on Twitch checking it out today. What do you guys think? I got a lot of feedback about the HUD, about Hex Undying, about why isn't D-Strike nerfed? D-Strike's not a big deal. I'll see you guys over on Twitch. I'll be praying to the entity. All right? See you guys over there. Have a good day.